Today we're going to answer a question that we received on our channel. Don't hang up the phone. Will we ever butcher and eat our camel meat? Let's talk about camel meat, what our plans in the future, and if that makes you sad, stick around, don't worry. It's not gonna be a sad video. Let's get Millie in the stanchion for milking. Hey everybody, this is Ask Homesteady, the weekly show that we do here on the channel where we answer your questions you've left on the channel. If you'd like to get a question answered, it's very simple. Just leave a comment with your question here on our channel with the hashtag Ask Homesteady, all one word. That way I can find it when I go to pick the question for the week. If you do the hashtag Ask Homesteady, but you just do hashtag Ask, or hashtag Homesteady, or hashtag Ask Space Homesteady, I don't find it, so I'm just trying to help you out by saying use the whole Ask Homesteady, all one word hashtag. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, this week's question is one I want you to be open-minded about. If you're thinking to yourself, eating camel, gross, I would never eat a camel. Remember, there are cultures that think the cow is sacred. Spoiler alert, it's not the culture I'm a part of. But there are people who would never consider eating a cow. They think that would be a horrible thing to do. So just because you think it's weird to eat a camel, there's lots of people all across the world who eat camel meat. There are places where camels, there are lots of them, and their meat, that's just another way to use your livestock, milk and meat. So, today's question, approaching it with an open mind, is, Al wants to know, just curious, camel meat is very popular and sustainable in the East and Australia. Would you consider being a camel meat producer? Al did not remember to use the Ask Homesteady tag, but I added it for him because I thought it was a great question. And if I do happen to see a good question that doesn't have Ask Homesteady on it, I'll add it. I have no problem adding it. I've got to lock Millie in our milking stanchion here. Okay, so Al, head. Let me start by saying, good, what a good camel. I'll essentially try anything once. Any kind of meat you'd put in front of me, I'd give it a shot. And I have no reservations about trying camel meat. I don't want to say it in front of Solomon. Don't want to hurt his feelings. Yeah, I'm not against that idea at all. And actually, your question has made me look into where I could find some locally. And sure enough, I found some. Pittsburgh Strip District Meats is known for all kinds of crazy, exotic, wild, foreign, whatever you want kind of meats. And sure enough, they have ground camel. Al, I think you'll see on this channel not too long from now, a camel meat taste test. Okay, I'm gonna let down. Good camel. So I'm totally not against that idea, Al, but that doesn't mean we're ever here going to raise camels for meat. We, as you can see, have our camels as a dairy animal. Camels, to the best of my knowledge, are only a dual purpose animal. There's no like meat camel and then milk camel. There are some camels that are better at milk. The ones we have are known for being better than the Bactrians. Dromedaries are better for dairy. But I don't know of any like meat variety of camel. In case you're wondering, Millie's inflammation issues are definitely improving. Usually takes about a week or so, I've heard. So not against the idea of doing meat, but we got our camels with the purpose of giving our family camel milk. And when it comes to camels as livestock here in the United States, I think you'd be hard pressed to find a camel operation that was for meat, and let me explain why. Camels are very expensive animals here in the United States because of the laws of supply and demand. There's a large demand for camels. Camel milk is something people like us are searching for and needing for their family's health. There's not a lot of camels in the United States. They were brought to this country. They were used as war pack animals during the Civil War, I believe. And the project, after they had tested them out, the project went belly up. And since then, it has been outlawed to actually import camels to the United States because camels in the Middle East carry MERS. And so basically there's just not a lot of camels in the United States. So to buy a camel, it's very, very expensive. Let's do some quick math. Let's say you want to get into camels. So you buy yourself a camel like Solomon, 1-year-old male camel. The going rate for a 1-year-old male camel like Solomon is gonna shock some people. $3,500. $4,000. Very expensive for one male. Females can go twice that at his age, and that's just to get you started. Now, let's say you get a male and a female camel Solomon's age. It's gonna take you years before they reach sexual maturity. Easy, Mel. So you got a good 2 years before you can actually start breeding. Gestation is 13 months. Now we're in like 3 years. $6,000 or $8,000 to get started in 3 years. It's a lot of investment and it takes a long time, and then you get one calf. So time and investment huge. How much money does camel meat go for? I looked at Pittsburgh's meat market. They sell ground camel. Sorry, Mel. $10 a pound. Not exactly a premium meat. How much meat do you get off of one camel? Well, the numbers I saw, because again, I don't have any experience with this, but the numbers I saw, somewhere around usable meat is about 500 pounds, that's a lot for an animal. The hanging weight's around 1,000 pounds, but then the usable meat, 500-600 pounds. So just for the sake of easy math, let's call it 500 pounds at $10 per pound. You make $5,000 if you can sell it all for an animal that cost you, probably $10,000 to produce. That's a hard thumbs down from Accountant Mike. There's no way we could make a camel meat business work here on our homestead. But finally, Al, let's talk about why, even if we could, we probably wouldn't. We're gonna pause this video quickly to do today's Camel Train shout out. And today's shout out goes to Patty and Scott from Idaho. Patty's been watching our channel for over a year and she loves what we're doing. They have a small homestead in Idaho called the Little Wee Farm. They raise alpine goats, they have chickens, and they have a mid-sized mini Jersey cow, just like a ladybug. They're sharing their adventure, showing that it's possible to be more self-sufficient and work full-time. For those of you who have that situation in life, which is most of us, go ahead and check out their channel. I'll link below. They're hoping very soon to have some calves on their homestead. We hope that works out for you guys. Congratulations on the upcoming calving. And thank you for joining the Camel Train. There is lots in the Pioneer Library about calves and cows and that sort of thing, so dive into that and enjoy it. For those of you watching, you can become a Homesteady Pioneer by clicking there and be able to access all our bonus content, extended interviews, join us live for the interviews, the whole thing. So click there. Now let's get back to today's video. When we choose to bring animals onto our homestead, we always choose them in the beginning with a very specific purpose in mind. If we are bringing a cow onto the homestead, we know pretty much right away, is this cow going to be here for milk or going to be here for meat? We also know when we breed that cow, is the young it's going to have going to be for milk or for meat? We want to know this before we get emotionally attached to the animal. We have pigs here. We have names for all our pigs, or most of them. We're working on it. We'll tell you when we get them all straightened out, but we're naming the pigs. We love and scratch on them and have fun with them, but we know some of those pigs are totally for meat. It doesn't mean we don't enjoy them, but we do withhold some of our connection, some of our emotion. Same with the rabbits. We like our breeders more than their young because we know the breeders are going to stick around. We get more attached to them. Camels, a huge part of training camels is establishing a good connection with them, becoming a friend to them, understanding them, spending time with them. We brought them in as milk animals. We have formed a very strong bond with these animals. Millie and Solomon are dears to us, and their young will continue to be brought up with that purpose of just having this connection. So I don't think we could ever do it. I can butcher all kinds of animals and feed my family the meat, but we do form a certain connection with some. It'd be like my dogs. I form a connection with my dogs. I have no problem. If you're somewhere in the world and you eat dog meat, that's cool by me. There's no like, hey, you shouldn't eat a dog, but you can eat a cow. You won't find that here on Homesteady. But I personally have a bond with my dogs. They're some animal that I work alongside in the field. I have this connection with, and I would never want to use them for meat. Now in a total survival situation where, the world is blown to smithereens and my kids gotta eat and like Poppy's the only thing left. Sorry, Pop. I said Pop because bones I probably still wouldn't eat. But the point is, like, we have these animals for a purpose. We've connected with them and bonded with them, and we're not going to want to raise camels for meat, and not for any other reason than just these animals are here for a different purpose, and we can make a good living with them if we were to try to do so doing other things. People in the United States who want to make a living with camels do camel rides, camel tourism, camel milk and milk products. They go and show camels, at fairs and things. So there's other ways we could make it more sustainable, because butchering them honestly wouldn't be sustainable. It just doesn't make sense. The meat we'd have to get so much money for the meat that it would just be crazy, and we don't want to. So there you go, Al. There's our answer. Not gonna find meat camels here anytime soon. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to be willing to try camel meat, and also it doesn't mean that I think it's wrong if you, somewhere in the world, are raising camels, even in the United States. Maybe you figured out how to make it work financially for you. Awesome. And if you've never tried camel, let me know in the comments below if you're going to give it a shot now. I'll have a link to where you can order it from the Pennsylvania Meat Company. They'll send it to you in 2 days. We'll do a video. I want to try it. I want to see what it's like. I'll try anything once.